Hey, Fred Minnick here, and you are watching my channel where I review whiskey and interview cool people over whiskey. Get ready, here we go. So today I am going to be tasting OFC 1995. Now, this is a sample I have been trying to get for a very, very long time. Here's the thing. When people get this bottle, when they get the actual bottle, they're doing so at high investment, and they're helping charities. Since 2016, the OFC line from Buffalo Trace, which is old-fashioned copper, it has raised millions of dollars for charity. What happens is these bottles are used for particular charities. They get auctioned off, and you end up seeing them in various sites going for $7,000, $8,000, sometimes $10,000. They're very expensive, and they're also I've not seen anyone really question the quality of them. But here's the thing: I don't usually get to taste them, and so for me to get a sample, I'm very excited about tasting this. This is the 1995 version, and this came out late 2020. And with like everything in 2020, not a whole lot of stuff got really, not a lot of stuff got a lot of attention, and this is one of them. And a lot of charities were really hurt. I spent a lot of my time trying to help charities. And it's really cool to see Buffalo Trace doing this. In fact, you'll find that all distilleries really do a lot for various charities. And the ones that come to mind that OFC's really helped are like leukemia charities, children charities, and all sorts of cancer charities. So I applaud Buffalo Trace for doing this. But at the end of the day, it does come down to me for this channel, for this show, about how good the whiskey is. And here we are about to taste a 25-year-old bourbon. It is 90 proof, and, I have typically been very much against anything that is north of 15 years old. Historically, in my tastings, there are very few bourbons that have been sitting in a new charred oak barrel for more than 15 years that taste good. Some that come to mind are like the Michter's 20 and the 25-year-old. Those felt very nice on my palate. Obviously, Pappy Van Winkle 20-year-old is one as well. The 23-year-old is kind of hit and miss, but when we take a look at some of the Orphan Barrel series where they've got a 25-year-old and they got a 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25, very big misses. Same with some of the Jefferson's releases that were north of 21 years old. They were misses for me. So here we go. I'm going to taste this OFC. Now, this was distilled in 1995. At that time, I was a junior in high school. I think my hair was shorter than it is now, but I think I had just cut my mullet off. I had a mullet when I was a sophomore, and I was a cowboy. I was wearing these snap shirts, so they were like metal buttons. They would snap, and I wore Wranglers and cowboy boots. And this was in between my phase of riding horses, and I actually did rodeos. So I rode. I was on the high school rodeo circuit in 94, 95. Sad story, actually. One of my best friends growing up was killed riding a bull, but he and we used to ride bulls together. His name was Jeremy Lloyd. So rest in peace, my friend. Every time I bring up my bull riding days, I always want to point out that Jeremy Lloyd did lose his life, riding a bull. Not to bring it down a little bit, but he was a great guy and definitely a cowboy's cowboy. But this was a time of the time of my life where I was kind of turning the corner. I was no longer wanting to be a cowboy. Didn't want anything to do with horses because they always seemed to kick me or bite me. And I was going into this phase of my life where I was really hunkering down on my riding and trying to get in my head that I'm going to be a professional rider. So 1995 is a very, very crucial year in my life. And it is one where I begin my path really to become a professional rider. So I see the year's 1995 on the bottle, I get all giddy because it takes me back to when I was much younger and I had a gleam in my eye, and I had yet to put on the factoids that you see upon my body now, and the gray hair and all that good stuff. But no, in all honesty, 95 was a great year for me personally in my life. So OFC 1995. Let's see if you hold up. Let's see if you hold up to the joys of my youth. Here we go. Whew, boy, definitely smells. Definitely got some beautiful like chocolate, some oak notes in here. Some fresh baked apples, like apple pie coming out of the oven. Burnt brown sugar. A little pumpkin-y. Oh my. Definitely complex. Definitely complex on the palate. It is... There's a beautiful like coconut note here underneath. So the first like note for me is coconut. And then after the coconut, there is like a cigar tobacco or a pipe tobacco. Then I get some like chocolate, some dark chocolate. Then I get like a saltwater taffy. I want to say like a date. So like the dates that you would put on a salad. This is really bright and alive. And I point that out because most 25-year-old bourbons are not bright and alive. They're old and oaky and tired. And this one really does taste amazing. And it feels like it's got a lot left in there. And the complexities that it has kind of starts, there's like this beautiful date note. There's a beautiful like pipe tobacco note. There's coconut. There's all these things kind of coming in underneath. But there's this flavor I'm trying to pinpoint it. There's definitely like it's in kind of like the axis of an apricot, like a dried apricot, but it's more defined than that. It's more complex than that, and I'm having a real hard time figuring out what it is. But it's a type of fruit that's really, really sweet. Maybe I'm going to have to go with that. So for lack of being able to figure this out here on the recording, I'm going to have to go with an apricot note, like a dried apricot. I'm sure if I spent a little bit more time with this, I would definitely be able to hone it in, but can't quite nail it down. And on the nose, once more, now I'm getting some beautiful spices, like a Chinese allspice. Just a hint of clove. On the third taste, the brown sugar blossoms more. Those notes that I had said previously, still there. Now kind of coming in underneath that apricot, the chocolate, the coconut is this burnt brown sugar. So if you think about like when you take a little bit of a food torch to the brown sugar, it crystallizes and you taste it, and it's very much like that flavor there. So now for the finish. The finish, a hint of banana appears with the finish. This is something that kind of comes out of nowhere. It's not necessarily on the palate at any point during the tasting, nor did I smell banana. But, you know, if you were to like dial it in, like what kind of banana is it? I'd say probably like a really delicate banana pudding. So something that is not lumpy, but creamy. So banana puddings tend to be lumpy, and they tend to have wafers in them. It's not that type of a note because that's kind of like scattered out. Maybe more, it's more of a banana puree, so maybe it's not a pudding, it's a banana puree. So that's what it is. It's a banana puree finish. But as you are tasting, it's very important to always remember, try to taste 3 times, and always focus on the nose, focus on the palate, and let the finish tell you the story of the whiskey. So that's going to do it for me on this tasting. Thank you to Buffalo Trace for sending me the sample of the OFC 1995. I hope this raises a lot of money for charity, as the previous releases have done. And I've got a little bit left to enjoy myself. I think I will strike a good cigar with this and sit down with my buddies and finish this little puppy off. But I appreciate you all joining me. Make sure you click the subscribe button if you want to see more honest reviews on American whiskey. And if you want to see cool interviews like the ones I've done with the likes of Ludacris and Killer Mike and Mick Fleetwood, click that subscribe button. And if you'd like to become a member, click join. We got all kinds of cool stuff happening behind the scenes in the member community. But that's going to do it this week. Until next time, be safe out there. No licking handrails, no licking trash cans. And remember, vodka sucks unless it's being used for hand sanitizer. Cheers.